Hello, everyone. Welcome back. We are here for an exclusive interview with Every Now and Then. Thank you guys for joining us.
Yeah, of course. We're really excited to be here today.
Could you guys introduce yourselves real quick? Because I know you guys are a 4-person band, but right now there's only 2 of you.
Yeah. So I'm Zach.
I'm Xavier. The only reason why there's 2 of us right now is because our bassist actually quit the band like a couple days ago, so now we're just a 3-piece. That'd be the explanation as to why we're not all here.
That should be fixed, though, in a few days. What I'm hoping, yeah.
Well, that's good to hear. Okay, so we're just going to jump right into the questions, if that's okay with you? Okay, so what was your mindset when going into the last EP? Because you guys had a really raw emotion that we loved. We just want to know, why did it make us so damn sad?
I don't know, I just like writing sad lyrics and rhyming sad words with other sad words and it's just, I guess it's just the way I feel most of the time. Yeah. Xavier.
Yeah, I guess the same way, because some of the songs I would like to think that some of the lyrics had to do with for the last EP at least, our old drummer Luke, when he left, it kind of felt a little, it hurt because he left and he was with us for a while. So then I would like to think a lot of the time we're writing the music and the melodies kind of, it brought the sadness to what you guys are hearing.
Well, we love that. We love that you guys use your personal life into your songwriting. It's really wonderful. So how, in your opinion, is it better if the rock genre remains underground or popularized?
Personally, I would like to see it being more popular, because I think it deserves it, it's one of those genres where you can't really go wrong, it has almost every emotion. You could be sad, you could be happy, you could be angry, and almost all the songs are gonna sound equally as good, and I really think it deserves more than it gets nowadays, at least. Yeah.
Yeah, I agree. It's very timeless. So, what do you guys have any dream collaborations? Are you guys thinking about doing any split EPs in the future?
Well, for a dream collaboration, I would like to collab with Tame Impala, Kevin Parker. That'd be sick. Also another band we like called Joyce Manor. And we were actually thinking of doing a split EP or a song with another band he's in with one of our homies called TOPL, Take Out Parking Lot. So we might actually be doing a split song with them soon.
Fire.
Is that an exclusive just for earringers? Was that an exclusive just for earringers, or have you said this before?
No, we actually haven't. This is probably our first time mentioning it.
That's cool. Now you guys know. So, can we just get to know a little bit about your backstory? How did you guys meet, and when did you guys decide to start the band?
Well, it's crazy, dang. I actually met him on Xbox Live. I had a friend, and he joined the Xbox Live party, and he was like, "Hey, we go to school with each other," and I was like, "Really?" And I remember the day after, we met, and I was like, "Oh, hey, cool." And then pretty much after that, we just became friends. Then by the time sophomore year came, we all started a band, and that's why it's a little crazy that our bass player left because he doesn't like me, and it's dang, we've been friends for that long, and all of a sudden, I was like, dang.
You lose some, you make some. It's okay. It's all right.
That's true. We did start the band our sophomore year. The lineup was actually different when we started. It was originally it was me, the bass player, our friend Eric, and him. At first, our friend Liam was in the band, and then he just left. Then he joined, and then our friend Eric just left, and our friend Pedro just never showed up to practice. So then it was us 3, and from there we decided to start making music, and then I found out my cousin played the drums, and he ended up taking that role, and that's where we went on from there.
That's really cool. So as a punk rock band, well, who would you guys say are like your most influential or bands or artists that inspired you guys?
Okay, so Arctic Monkeys, The Beatles, Joyce Manor, Pup, Free Throw. There's so many. Led Zeppelin. You want to name some?
Yeah, I guess so. I guess, well, when it comes to the punk aspect of like our sound, I would say like Dead Kennedys or Black Flag, Descendants, Agent Orange. For sure, the Beatles. The Beatles plays a big part in when we write. Also Black Sabbath, but Zach pretty much got the rest of them.
And you guys started out in high school, so I don't know if your parents were for it, against it. How did your close ones react when you told them you were starting a band?
I mean, my family was just like, all right, like he's gonna do what he's gonna do. They didn't really like say anything too. My mom was supportive. She's supportive over it. Other than that, everyone else is just kind of like, I guess neutral about it.
Just doing whatever, huh? Yeah. My family was actually very supportive. I actually come from a family of musicians, so a lot of people in my family play instruments. So when I let them know I was in a band, they were pretty excited for that.
Would you say that's like what instilled your desire to be an artist?
Actually, at first, I kind of had no interest in playing guitar when I was younger, and I ended up taking like guitar class at middle school with my friend. And I started playing guitar, and that kind of just sparked the interest. And after that, I just continued playing. So when I told my mom and like my grandpa I was in a band, they really supported me in that, so that made me want to continue doing this even more.
Well, I'm glad you did, because I have to say I love your guitar skills. Like, it's insane. I love your songs.
Thank you.
Yeah. Okay. Was Sunset a reflection of the doubters that disagreed with your musical journey?
I don't know. You want to answer that one? I don't know how to really answer that one.
Yeah. Well, when we first started the band, I made it a point that when we're writing music, that we don't stick to not the same sound necessarily, but we don't stick to the same formula and keep on making similar songs, because it keeps it interesting for the listener. And that's just kind of like how I listen to music. A good example of that is Arctic Monkeys with all their albums. Their new album is like, I don't know if you listened to it, but it sounds nothing like the last one. And we kind of like take that inspiration from that, and Radiohead too. And I would say, some of the lyrics, probably, yeah. And like the tones of the song, for people who were expecting different, we kind of were just like, we're going to go and do our own thing. But again, when it comes to our song lyrics, we kind of like to incorporate a lot of our personal life into like what the lyrics mean to us.
Yeah, that's a pretty good way of putting it. Like just not having the same sound as the last EP, because I feel like if you do that, it just gets too like repetitive, and then the band gets kind of like boring, So yeah, it's good to switch up your style like every now and then.
No, yeah, definitely. So you guys said a lot of your songs reflect like your personal journeys and everything. What would you guys say is your biggest goal or aspiration as an artist or musician?
My biggest goal is to just make people happy listening to like our music, because I know what, like, when I'm listening to like Joyce Manor, Arctic Monkeys, or like Free Throw, whenever I'm Radiohead, whenever I'm like listening to those bands, I feel like emotions, but I always feel happy listening to them, because music makes me happy, and that's what I want to do for the audience. I want to make them feel how I feel when I'm listening to my like favorite bands and stuff, because there's nothing better than happiness, So, yeah.
Very well said.
Yeah.
What about you?
Well, when it comes to like making music, I really want to inspire people, and I want people to relate to our music. I want people to be able to connect with the the lyrics we write, the song itself, the structure, the melody, the tone it gives. I want people to relate to it. I want people to, like, when we all listen to music, we listen to, say, like a sad song, and like the lyrics are just, you know, they're hitting right there, like on the spot. Like if they wrote it for you, I want people to kind of experience that same feeling with us. And I also want people who are, you know, trying to start a band to see that, you know, anybody could do it. Anybody could start a band. Like anybody, like the Radiohead song, anyone can play guitar. So you just got to put in the work, but that's the main goal.
You know, where do you guys see yourselves in the next 5 years?
I'm hoping we're playing like venues. I'm hoping we're touring worldwide, touring with bands that we like, just having a good time with the music, you know, just traveling the world, seeing new places, just having new opportunities. That's where I see us. That's where I know where we're gonna be in 5 years.
I love it. Love it. Manifest it. Okay.
Yeah, manifest it, exactly.
We love that. Okay. Is there a song that you guys hold dearly to your heart, and if so, which one and why?
Well,
like ours? Or
yeah, yours. Or you can elaborate too. If you can say another person's song.
Well, I guess in ours, there's a new one that's not out yet called Under the Weather. I'll say the name. Yeah, Under the Weather. It's it holds a special place in my heart. It's probably like one of the funnest songs that like we play. For me, at least, that's like, yeah.
No, that is probably the best song that. Right now, as of the songs we're all writing, I think that's one of our best songs that we're going to release. That's definitely the most energetic song when we play it live. And I feel like when we play it brings out the most emotions in all of us. But there's still other ideas floating around that could take that spot.
Nice. Well, I'm excited to hear all that. Okay, so do you guys have any other projects on the way? What else can we expect from you guys?
Well, actually, we just got done recording a new song on what day was it? Was it Sunday? Yeah, last Sunday we just recorded a full song in like one day. We've never done that before in like 10 hours. Yeah, we got it done, and it should be dropping within like really soon, like maybe 3 weeks, 2 weeks. No, a month. Like a month. Give it like a month. It'll be out there.
So when this comes out, it might be out already. So be on the lookout for that. Okay. You guys have played at multiple venues. Do you guys have a memorable moment that you could share with us?
One for me is always gonna be the House of Blues. That show was crazy. Like it was. I didn't expect it. Like we walked on stage and like the whole venue was like packed to like you know, the wall. So I was just like, dang, there's like at least like 300, 400 people in here, or like 300. Yeah, and I was like, dang. But that one and which other one? The one we played at Jacoby's was pretty cool too. The one in August, that one was really cool too. What about you?
I'd probably say the House of Blues one too, but as of like recently, because when we played House of Blues, I would say it was kind of like a different band. For now, I mean, I think I would say just a lot of the shows we've been playing, like within the community that we're kind of building, especially like around Pomona. There's a cool music scene in Pomona that we're always familiar with in high school when we used to go to like backyard shows and stuff. And just a lot of the shows we've played, like even at just recently we played at DBA Dive Bar in Pomona. And another cool place is Artists in the Alley. So just places like that I think is to me at least it's more of a good experience because you get to be around, you know, the community and the music and, you know, people who are doing the same thing as you.
With the rise and like pressure of like social platforms and streaming, do you guys ever feel discouraged with the numbers? And if so, how do you deal with that?
I mean, I never really feel like discouraged because, like, I mean, as long as you got listeners, like, that's all that matters, you know? Like, that's what we're, like, in it for, pretty much. Like, just for, like, the listeners. And if it grows, awesome, you know? Like, I mean, that's what we're expecting. It should grow. But, like, you know, like, other than that, like, yeah, it doesn't really discourage us all that much.
So, like, what piece of advice would you guys give to someone that's willing to start a band but doesn't know where to begin?
Just the biggest advice I'd give them is, you know, when you're trying to start a band, hopefully, if you have some friends that play instruments, you know, ask them if they want to be in the band with you. Practice your instrument a lot. If you really want to be in a band, make sure, you know, you put in the work for it. And, you know, in all honesty, anybody could start a band. You could, you know, take up the drums and the bass, and you could even do it by yourself. And you can always go to local shows. You know, there's always going to be people who play instruments there. So my best advice would to just be, you know, put yourself out there and don't give up.
Could you tell us, like, a fun fact that people may not know about you guys?
Dang. That's a hard one. Let me think. Well, I guess, okay. Pretty much when it, like, when it comes to, like, the songwriting, I guess dang, how do I put this? We pretty much write the songs, like, off of each other. Like, I don't know, like, how to really say. Like, do you get, like, what I'm trying to say?
Yeah.
You could probably word it better.
Let me see if I can think about it. I mean, yeah, I guess it'd be like a fun fact. We kind of like for Sunset, for a good example. I had the riff, the beginning riff that's playing throughout the whole song. I wrote like some of it my freshman year of college, and then I kind of just kept it. Then years went by, and I like wrote it again, and I fixed it. So then I showed them. I was like, oh, you know, look at this cool, you know, little riff I got for a song idea. So then I started playing it, and then he started playing it, and our old bass player started playing along. And we kind of just ended up writing the song there on the spot.
Yeah, and it's pretty much the same exact thing happened with our new one coming out, You're Not the Same. We pretty much did, like, the same thing. Like, we were actually jamming with our old bass player's brother, and, like, I just started playing, like, the riff, and, like, he started, like, going off it, like, on the drums, and we brought that song to, like, our band, and, like, I'm glad that we did, because it's, you know, it's a really good song, and I'm looking forward to, like, putting that one out. It's gonna probably be, like, our best sounding song. Yeah, but yeah, I guess that's something people don't really know about, how we, like, write our music and, like, the way that we do it.
And you guys have, like, a really unique sound. So how'd you guys go about establishing that?
Honestly, I think it's just from, like, all the music that we listen to. We pretty much just, like, listen to, like, all these kinds of different music, and we kind of just bunch it in, like, one, if that makes any sense. And I guess that's what kind of gives us, like, that unique, crazy kind of, like, sound. It's just from, like, a whole bunch of different genres in one.
Yeah, no, we love that. So what challenges do you guys face when songwriting?
Whew. Writer's block for sure. Sometimes I'll be, like, writing lyrics. I can't think of a dang thing. I'm, like, it's a struggle sometimes. Like, it's a big struggle. Like, you're just trying to finish that song, and you just can't think of the right things to say, and it's, like, frustrating you.
Something like that, what you just said.
Yeah.
Like, I can't find the right thing to say.
Yeah, and that'll be a lyric, you know, like, but yeah, it's just that writer block, man. It'll be so bad where you'll just put the song away and you like totally forget about it, and then you like bring it up like a year later. You're like, oh yeah. 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 Oh God.
Did you guys have a favorite song to create, and if so, why?
Honestly, I think Sunset was really fun because it was like a process, like literally, like some people or some people, some of the band members didn't like some parts, but then it grew, you know, like 'cause I think you didn't like the chorus at first, right? Yeah, he didn't like the chorus in Sunset at first, but yeah, but then you ended up liking it. So yeah, I think, but yeah, it was probably that song because it was just a really fun process, and it was cool.
So, did you guys ever have creative disputes, and if so, how do you handle that?
I would say generally we're all kind of like on the same page. Usually, like the creative disputes kind of comes from our drummer Dario. He I don't know. Sometimes he'll be like, you know, that's not in time, or like that's not on 4/4, or you know, that's not on, because we don't use a metronome really. So he'd be like, you're not in time, or you're cutting the bar too short, or you're not playing this amount of times. But when it comes to music, it to a certain extent, it doesn't really matter, because you know, it's art, it's music. You can do whatever you want with it. So I'd say that would be like the biggest one. I don't mean to single him out, but usually it's him, you know, complaining to us about it. But you know, when it comes to writing, we all kind of just sit down and like talk about what we're gonna do.
Yeah, he ordered it pretty well. That's pretty much how it is.
So have you guys ever traveled to perform somewhere, or where do you hope to go to?
We actually recently we went to San Fran to play a show out in San Mateo. That was for us DJs Entertainment. Yeah, Steven and JG, and Kevin. But yeah, we went out there and we had a hell of a time. It was really good. We played in front of like a pretty good audience out there. Like it was bigger than I expected, and I think we got Bay Area fans exactly, and that's what I was like hoping to get, you know, because San Francisco is cool. It was like my first time going there. I had no clue it was like that out there.
Is there a certain venue that you guys would like to perform in the future?
Honestly, for me, I want to perform at the Hollywood Palladium. That's a venue that I have on like my list. That and probably the Fonda, just because the Fonda almost didn't let me in for like a show one time. So I was just like, I want to play there so I could like tell that security guard that, hey, like I'm playing here now. But yeah, probably those two. Like for now, like that's what I want to play. Like for sure, it has to happen. And the House of Blues, like the main room, yeah.
So where did the name Every Now and Then come from, and what does it mean to you?
Well, before we were called Every Now and Then, we were called the Wolves. So that name kind of just derived from, we were like, oh, there's 4 of us, and you know, wolves are cool. Let's just be called the Wolves. So we stuck with that, and we tried getting it copyrighted. We ran into some problems because of Los Lobos. It's the wolves in Spanish. You know, totally different language, different letters, but I guess it mattered still. So like, whatever. We don't want to get sued if we use this. So I don't know if you guys ever been to Clyde's Hot Chicken, but we were in the car with one of our old friends. It was me, old friend, my girlfriend at the time, and Zach. And I was talking to her just about band names, and I was just like, Every Now and Then would be a cool band name, because I think I might have said Every Now and Then, and I was like, oh, that sounds like it'd be a cool band name. Yeah, so I told her, I was like, oh, that sounds pretty cool, huh? And she was like, yeah, and I tapped Zach on the shoulder. I was like, yo, did you hear that? And he's like, yeah, and then we kind of just stuck with that.
I did, yeah.
Also, because it's a saying, it's a phrase, so I kind of figured if that's our band name, someone likes us, and they're talking about us, they'll be like, oh, shit, like, Every Now and Then.
I remember like 5 minutes after he said it in the car, I was in the back like, dang, like it was just going in my head. I was like, that would be a cool name, because like our name at the time was cool, but I was like, dang, it's so much better than Unwanted. Yeah, I'm not even gonna say it, but like it was a really cool name. I like it.
So if you guys weren't doing music, what would you be doing?
I hate to say it. Probably nothing, honestly. Just working that regular 9 to 5, which I'm not trying to do.
Me neither.
And everybody's saying that like that's what you got to do. Don't know what you're talking about. It's not how life has to be, you know? Like there's other things out there. You don't have to live such a controlled robotic life, you know? I just don't agree with that at all. But yeah, I'd be doing nothing. I don't know about you. What about you?
I'd probably just kind of the same thing. I'm actually gonna go back to school because I want to do like IT. So I'd probably just end up doing that, like focusing more on that, and also maybe try, because I play a lot of video games. Probably try doing something with that. But like you said, I can't really picture doing anything without music, so it'd be hard.
Okay, before we end, do you guys have any closing statements you'd like to tell your fans?
Yeah, just keep an eye out for our for You're Not the Same, and then after that, Under the Weather. It's gonna blow your socks off. It's just a big change in our sound, and I'm looking forward to putting it out. So stay tuned.
Well, thank you guys so much for joining us, and I can't wait to hear it.
Thank you.